again. You are watching The Real Show, and I'm so excited for today's episode because listen, we're taking it back to South Africa, and y'all already know that I love everything South African because I am South African myself. So I'm super excited for today's episode because we're celebrating an artist who is on the rise but is doing incredible things. She has a single out and an EP coming your way very, very soon. And we're going to be talking about all of that and so much more on the show. So all you have to do is just sit back, relax, and please help me welcome onto the Real Show, ladies and gents. Joining me from South Africa is the one and only Chante Carstens. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. No complaints. I mean, the weather is really nice over here. Oh, it's winter and I'm just enjoying the rain.
I love that. I love that. You're the first person I've ever heard who loves winter. That is just so
Oh,
just vibrant about, the rain
yeah,
and just like that type of weather. But how is South Africa
yes,
in this climate right now? I know there's just been it's a busy week for the country, but before we get into music
yes,
and all things exciting, how are you
yeah.
feeling about just everything that's happened across this week and that's about to happen this week? Where would you say you're sitting with it?
With regards to, there's so many things. Are you
So
talking
there's
about,
been the elections, and
yes, I was thinking that.
I think that has been that is at the
Yeah,
core of like what's
that
happening
is at
this
the
week. But as a
core.
young South
Yes,
African, what would you say? How you're feeling about just the climate of the country right now, and
yeah.
just your voice as a young person.
Yes, I mean, with voting yesterday, I was standing in line probably for like 2 hours. It was my first time though. I am so old, I
Uh,
feel, but it's never too late. And I've educated myself, and I've gone and my vote counts. I've made a difference. I didn't see a lot of youth in the line. And that is what I would have loved to see more. But even we are all just
yeah.
waiting in anticipation of the votes now and to see the changes that's to come. So we all just trying to save our little land and yeah, make it whole.
I love that. Our little land in South Africa, our land. That's like our national
Yes.
anthem, y'all. So,
Connect.
but that's beautiful. And I mean, as a young person, a big part of the country in itself and its ethos is the idea of democracy and freedom, and just being
Yes.
free to be able to be whatever you want to be and do whatever you want to
Yes,
do.
exactly.
When did it
Yes.
kick into you the realization that you can be what you want to be? You can be a creative, and how did that decision come about for you to fully step into owning this freedom of being able to be a singer and be a musician and be a dancer and express yourself creatively? What does that mean to you?
Oh, what it meant to me is that it just put me in a place where I finally feel like I belong. It's really that simple, but I don't think people sit in that enough. I was definitely
Yeah.
called out to it, and I would call out to art in other ways. So there was a time in my life when I wasn't being artistic in the form of like dance, music, and even acting, because that's what I used to do back then. And I remember just becoming a nail tech and like being a makeup artist, and I was like, I wonder why I'm always doing something that is just so artsy related. Like, I'm doing makeup because I love like sculpturing the face, and that's really artistic. And I mean, nails, like, it's just artistic, and I like to explore with different patterns and styles. And I was like, wait a minute, like, now I feel like going back to the dance studio. And I stopped dancing for a whole while. So I got back into dance like probably 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and then in 2022, this is no new story, but I met Kailani, and she's my literal inspiration. So I saw the live performance, I was inspired, was in the room with amazing, amazing people, which is a team, and also just my friends and everyone that I've met in the line, and all the other upcoming artists from South Africa. Like, I didn't even know what was around to inspire me, and that experience just took me to a place where I realized, now what about you? Like, I'm really called out. I'm like, what are you gonna do now? You've seen so much, you can do so much, but you just have so much excuses for yourself. And I think we make so much excuses because I thought I had to be super young when I start all these things. It's always been a part of me. But I think where I tapped in was that I couldn't leave the same way that I entered the space of being just a creative myself. And I never considered myself that. I never considered myself worthy of the title artist. I really had a big problem with that, even when I released my first song. And then luckily I had really great people in my corner to be like, Chante, you deserve to be called an artist. You write music, you are artistic, you visually do everything for yourself. You have these visions for your sound and where you are moving. So don't downplay that. And I was like, whoa, another one calling me out, but I just have to accept it and I have to become what I meant to be.
I love that. That's such a wholesome answer. I think you kind of well rounded it off, by just giving us different
Uh,
elements to even unpack.
yeah,
What do you think is the cause of that kind of lack of self trust to many young people? Like, where does it stem from? This idea that even though I'm exploring all these creative ideas and exploring these creative parts of myself, but I'm still
yeah.
not saying yes to the title of it. What would you say is a hindrance? What stops people from just getting into it?
Okay, so for me personally, I know I cannot speak for everyone, maybe, but like for me, and I hope to say this so that whoever's listening to me and hears the same thing, they would like shift the narrative. I can like shift the narrative for them. So I just heard that it's not realistic to make music in South Africa. You hardly get out here. You need to study something real. You need to do like business and become a doctor. You become a lawyer. You don't become a dancer. You don't become a singer. And I mean, I just let the people. I think I was a very weaker version of myself, also. I would just like listen to what everyone is telling me and it would just like consume me. And funny enough, music is also the type of thing or the thing that I fully experienced, I'm doing it, but it's also calling me out in a way where I'm really honest with myself. And I've really grown so much from being the person who was like, oh no, I can't make music because people said like it's not realistic in South Africa, to being like, no, you will never ever believe things like this again. Like music really helped me. It's like I have this little relationship with music and I'm so married to it right now and I just want to stay there. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's really
Ah,
amazing.
man. I love that. And I like that you were able to break through from that
Yeah.
mindset shift, right? And have that mindset shift rather, which enabled you to step into it. And you, as you said, that music has a relationship with you, and so many people have a relationship with music that you then get to create as well, right? And as creatives, we often think about ourselves and become selfish about our craft, not understanding that we need to share the craft so that people could
Mhm.
heal from it, learn from it, be inspired by it, which ultimately is the whole main course of art, is to, to feed people in various different ways. And share with us your process into creating music, right? I mean, so many people could be watching and thinking, how do you even get to having a single out? I mean, that in itself sounds so daunting. For you, what has been, say, let's just, simply put your single first before we get into the full on project of your EP coming out. But just the single that you've kind of put out, did you write it? Did you make the beats? Like, what was take us just through the process of putting out the single. I had to listen to it and I was just like, girl, you're getting me my feels.
Oh,
So what was in
which one
your
did you
feels when
listen
you
to?
were writing it? So your
Oh
single out, I think
man,
it's called Clarify. Yes.
clarity. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking
Clarity,
about.
yes.
Yes. Okay,
So
so
take us through what was going
clarity.
on.
Yeah, okay. So first and foremost, you mentioned something very important which I would love to speak about, which is how do you get a single out there? Because I was the person
Yeah.
was asking the same question, and I feel like it's important to extend that. I know that for everyone it's different, but like for me, I was asking the most stupid questions, and I want to say start there. Like, ask everything, no matter how stupid it feels, no matter how inadequate you feel. I had to ask stupid questions to get to the right people and to navigate me to this side and that side. And so you learn, it builds so much character. And then you know what you are doing and you know how to approach things each time. I really dove into this journey in a way where I knew nothing. And whatever the outcome was, good or bad, I would just accept it for what it is and move forward with that being good and being like great. So now I know next time, and being bad and being like, oh, okay, you know what, we can always just take a turn and we can just proceed. I contacted producers first and foremost because I don't make beats, I don't produce. I shout out producers. So I just go to the studio and I'm like, please can you give me like a specific type of beat? So a beat is made for me, it's sent my way, I'm inspired, because I'm inspired by sound, so that's how I started writing. And yes, I write all my music. And
It's
then I just take it from there. Usually it's just like a breeze. I allow myself to be creative and express myself, or like I think about it really attentively and like write long on something. But like the creative process changes. Like when I made Clarity, for example, I knew that I wanted to get deep and real. And when I made Stay the Night, for example, which is like an upbeat single of mine, I knew I wanted to write about the party because that was just what I was inspired by because of the sound that I've received. So Clarity. I made Clarity 9 months ago, and I had this moment and I was like, oh my word, this is my actual baby. Because like I gave birth like just the other day. It's 9 months and my baby's out.
yes, yes.
And I was telling everyone, go listen to my child. But no, Clarity, Clarity was just an expression to how I'm just so frustrated by this generation. We lack so much in relationships, not maybe just romantically, but I feel like as friends as well, you can place it into any aspect because people are not just clear. People are not being clear lately. Everyone has all these guards up and their walls up, and everyone is too cool for the world, and no one wants to help anymore, and everyone wants to throw hints, and no one wants to sit down and have conversations like adults. And I think that is what I like. I like it when people are honest with me. I like it when people are clear with me. So that song is actually like a copy paste of something I've said to someone. I said I need
Wow.
clarity. What do you want from me? Like those are the lines I used, and then I obviously just like wrote my whole song and my experience to express myself to this person and just persons of like the uncertainty with me. And it's so funny how you can be so clear and you can put like your pour your whole heart out into music and a sound that maybe you just really understand and people just don't still grasp it. And I've just learned to realize that, you know what, that's how you just also know it's time to move on. It's time you got your closure from your song. Like for me it's the song, you know. Even though I'm like a really transparent person, I like sitting down speaking about what hurts, what's uncomfortable, like speaking about literally anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was like when I released the song, I expected like a lot of understanding, I think, from people. But I've just realized that you can be clear however you want, but if people don't grasp communication, like I just feel like it's stuck, and there's nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. So moving
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
I think it's such a part. I mean, it's such an important conversation, and I think the song in itself is starting. I mean, we hear so many times about just like the failure of relationships, as you said, in any aspect. It could be romantic,
Yeah.
friendship, family. Like so many relationships are falling apart. So having to have a song that encourages us to begin the conversations of clarity and transparency, I think is so cool. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to learn about the process of how you having to be inspired by the sound.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's so many people who are independent artists, or who are on this journey to just really figuring out their sound. What did figuring out your sound and figuring out what type of artist you want to be look like for you? How did you kind of go on that journey into being distinct in your sound as well as who you are as an artist?
Yeah, it is still just a journey that I am going through. I feel like I never stop learning. Each time I just realize that I'm never boxed. I feel like um depending on where you want to be and what you have and how you can assist yourself best, because sometimes you can be so creative but you actually can be a therapist as well. So if you have the gift of making music but you can be therapeutic to people, I feel like we shouldn't downplay that. That's like amazing. So when I think about what it is that I want to write and finding my sound and how that caters, I really haven't boxed myself. I feel like I'm still finding who I'm meant to be. And it's like a never ending journey. And something that I love about the music is it's me against me. It's like I don't need to compete with anyone. There's no one to compete with. It's me versus me. And that's just with finding my best sound, finding my people that discovers me, that loves me for who I am, and wow, I can assist the world in that matter. Because yes, I mean, the first few times that I heard people say to me like, listen, your music helped me, like my time helped this girl in a breakup. She was going through a breakup and I was like, not me. Not me being a therapist, but I was like, I have to be. It's so amazing, man. Like, oh, so I have a responsibility, I feel. And as I'm
Yeah.
discovering more people, it's like one at a time. I don't care if it's one person or 10 a day. Each time I get discovered, I'm just so thankful. And I just treat each one as their heart a person and dealing with one, because like sometimes you
Yeah.
have this influx of sounds and everyone is just all over the place and you don't know what to do. So I'm really learning as I go on. I like the gradual growth. I like navigating in this journey on my own pace. I like being independent to learn how to shape myself better when I do have the support maybe one day and other people come in and they help me. Everything is just as it should be. And yeah, I mean, I've been recording now for over a year, but it has been pure bliss, and I just love it. It's like I found this new hobby, and I don't want to call it that, but when you find a new hobby, then it's like you just want to do it. You just want to do it the whole time. You want to explore
Yeah.
it. You wanna you just want to learn from it. You don't want to stop doing it. So that's how it feels. But this is where I'm meant to be. Like the destiny is that I should be making music, and I'm so glad that I did.
That's so beautiful. And I love what you said. Like everything is as it should be. And I think a lot of the times, so many of us find ourselves wanting what's next and not being settled in
Yeah,
what this should be. This is what it is meant to be right now, right? And I think that's a very
now, yeah,
positive and enthusiastic approach to the industry, which can really help with the disparity and kind of people just being in despair, when it comes to how far their careers are going. But the understanding that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I think that's just
yes,
amazing. And I can already
yeah,
feel that your music in itself, it shares that, your music just really
yeah,
translates the
yeah,
acceptance of where you are as an artist and really sharing that and that being enough,
yeah,
right? That where you
yeah.
are and what you're sharing and what you're saying is being enough. Yeah.
Yes. No, I mean, I saw this quote and it just said like, were we actually like, were we doing things for? In actual fact, like to be scared of a journey or to feel like you are so late on yourself, was taking too long for who? Like people can literally start businesses at 40 and fail and start it again at 50 and fail and start it at 60 and succeed. Like there's just no limit to age, I feel. And I mean I preach that now, but I was the type of person that was like, I'm too old, I can't do anything. But I also love about myself this thing of I can shift I can always shift the narrative. I can always change my mind, and I can always feed myself in a way where I'm like, you thought of this yesterday, but that was kind of dumb. Like, did you think about this? And did you think how you can explore these ways? And be patient, a little bit patient with yourself. And that's all where it came from. That's why I'm this grounded, rooted in that, because I sit with myself. I have like therapy sessions with myself. I'm like, girl, we're gonna talk right now. Like, that's just how it goes, yeah. So it's really healthy. I love that. I make time for that, no matter how cringe, no matter how stupid people want to call it. But it's so necessary and it's so important.
And how do you know when you're ready? How did you know when you were ready to release music? What is a sweet spot to saying now it's time? Is it a feeling? Is it a mood? Is it how can one find within the distinction that it's now time to release?
uh you know I acted out in that way where I was asking questions to people. So like I was just like, hey, I really wanted to make a song. How do I do this? How did I Hey, where you from? I see you produce. Like, can you make me a beat? Like, all these things, like going through that, it was really just a very curious stage in my life. Like I didn't even worry about how do I sound, what am I gonna write, how am I gonna sing. Like I think if I had to think about that first, I would have been demotivated or maybe like, you're not ready. You've never written a song. Why are you doing this? Like, you always have that little voice in your head. And I was like, I just don't have time for that right now. I need to do this for me. And it's like my inner child. I mean, you grow up and you want these dreams and visions for yourself. Even me as a child, I was always like, oh, I'm going to be such a star. Like, that's just what I thought it was going to be. And I was like, why would you ever let that go? Like, because people are telling you that to make music in South Africa is not realistic. And I mean, now we have people even like Tyler showing us that it's so possible, and a lot more artists are coming out in South Africa. And I'm just so excited for everyone's like just blow up. I'm excited for everyone to go out there, do what they are meant to do, to just bless the world with who we are. And I mean, our culture, it's so beautiful. I felt like it's been hidden for so long. And yeah, I mean, I'm also like, it's nice to contribute to the independent space right now. I'm just sitting in every setting I am, and it's nice to be here. And I know I will excel, and then I'll come into another phase, and then that's just how you go and how you go. But I'm
Yeah.
really like, how can I say? I'm so ready for it, and that's the best way I could approach it. You never know. You never know. You must always try. And funny story, actually, I wrote a song called Ready. So when I received this beat, right? From he produced it, so he's a producer in, is it Switzerland? I'm not, okay, anyway, Switzerland, yeah, I think so. Sorry, I
Somewhere around the
must have mixed
world.
up the countries. Somewhere around the world. He sent me this really cool beat, and I was like, this just sounds like me. I've always written songs about other people, but this beat sounds like me. So I was thinking of the ocean, the waves, and I kind of compared myself to the ocean. I compared myself to waves. I compared myself to the sand, even. And I mean, just a wave at its force coming. It's like sometimes it's really, it's like forceful. But when it like just does its thing on the shore and it's just so still, I was like, I feel like a wave because I'm up and down, but I learn through every phase. And when I wrote Ready, the song Ready, it was just to explain the fear of my music journey and, everything that's about to come. But then the thing with Ready is I was not ready in the studio. I was recording there, I'm gonna be ready. But I was like, I don't even feel ready right now. Like, what am I doing? I'm lying. I'm being fake. And then as I was listening to the mastered version and the song came out, I was like, wow, on drop day, now I feel ready. And I was like, you
Are you
just never
ready?
know. Imagine I was like, I'm gonna wait till I'm feeling ready to release the song, and I just never ever feel ready because I'm procrastinating and I'm just like, I'm putting myself in a deficit, I feel, and I don't do that. I really express myself. I really allow myself to do what I want to do. I'm like, okay, girl, you're feeling like this. Let's do it. Let's see what happens from here. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, now we know next time. So I really just
Ah,
approach everything like that.
I am getting so much energy from you right now, and I'm hoping that you at home, as you're watching, you are getting the
Yeah,
vibes and getting the
I
energy
am
because
getting the
Shante is
vibes.
giving all of us. Now, May 31st is a very special day for you, for your music, for your brand. And I want us to get into all of that. What's happening on May 31st?
Oh, so my single is dropping midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight. Whoa, it's
That's in a couple of hours where you are, right? That's in like what, 4 hours,
I
five
think that's like
hours in
4
South
hours.
Africa?
4 hours. Yes.
4 hours.
Crazy. This was the quickest release ever. I recorded this song 2 months ago, and it's coming out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also part of my debut EP. I usually take very long. I mean, Stay the Night took 9 months. My Time took like 4 or 5 months. My debut single took like 4 or 5 months. So yeah, this one 2 months and it's out. I'm learning so much each time I just release. I'm so excited for people to hear this new jam. It's really jammy. Like, ah, man, we just had so much fun in the studio. Myself and Hirsch. It's a collaboration. It's called Slide. And yeah, I mean, Hirsch is also the producer of the track. And it was just so nice to work alongside so many creatives in South Africa and people that are on the right path and giving me all this advice and allowing me to step into who I am as an individual, as an artist, as a person, as a songwriter, just a creative in general, and allow me to express myself best I can and hear all the stories in the studios and what the songs are about. Like, it's such a blessing. So, yeah, that's what's happening on May 31st. We're just so excited.
Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
that is absolutely exciting. I am super excited to check that track out. And you said the EP is also coming. I mean, having an EP out is quite a big deal. What type of body of work
Yes.
would you say your EP as a collective kind of encapsulates? What kind of sound can we expect from the full project? And when is that coming out?
Okay, so EP date June 14th. I've been sitting on these songs. I'm so excited to release it. The album is pretty transparent. It's called Transparent. And how I can just like best sum
Oh,
up, just in like three words is honesty, vibey, and clear. It's very clear. And this is why the song Clarity is the I want to say you can listen to Clarity on the EP, but you can't listen to the rest. It will be out on June 14.
June 14th. Yeah.
Yes. So Clarity and Transparent, they just like, they are really gelling right now. And I feel like that is just what it's about. It's me coming clean as my first project body of work. Even just like the set list and how it just flows out, song list, and starting with Stay the Night and going into all these like songs that I have sounds like Stay the Night and like Clarity. Also, I made a song called My Time. Um, Asking for clarity from the same person is the one who wasted my time. So, like, my time is, yeah, there's like a whole story going on there. And then Slide, this one that's actually dropping tonight, is just a way to like leave that whole side of me behind. And now I will never move away from being transparent and clear about who I am and my intentions and my boundaries. But that is really just what the project stands for. And as much as I've sat in that for so long, I would just like to leave that emotion there, express myself with that, and move on to a fresher sound. So it's like I'm starting really cool with like a catchy vibe, and then I'm going into these deep songs, and then I'm just like, okay, bye now, and then I'm exiting, the really like hype fun song. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just so excited to tell the tale as soon as everything drops, and yeah, clarity right now is just like it speaks for the rest of the project.
Mm. And I think what you're saying is like you're saying it starts high and then it gets to the emotion and it gets high again. And that's like the reality of even just being a person, right? That you get
Yes,
moments where you high and moments where you're like, oh,
yes,
why did you
yes,
do that?
yes.
Why did that
And that is
happen?
my yeah. Exactly. And that is my literal emotion throughout the project. It's like it started with Stay the Night. It started with this party. That was like the first ever experience. But then it's like you kind of go through life and you experience people. And I feel like, not to make it sound like everyone should just be so perfect for me, but I've realized that people that come in my space, they want, I don't know, they appear to be perfect for me. And I feel like you don't need to be perfect, you're just not hearing what I'm saying. Like I'm asking for transparency. To be good to me is not enough. What you stand for. I'm just another type of person. Like I really like getting in deeper. And cause I feel like, what are good people to you? Like, you can be good, but what do you have to offer? I don't know. People find it weird that I'm the type of person that care about things other than just, oh, this feels so nice, and oh, this is so great, and you are so nice. Like, yes, you are nice as you should be. I feel like humans should just be nice. You should be. Don't be ugly. But like, just have something to you. I'm a really deep person. I like deep connections. I like deep conversations. So yeah, I feel like when people try and paint this picture that they are made for me, even like friendships, like family, like romantic partners, whoever you are, like, I'm not that much. You don't need to be this perfect being. Just be clear, just be transparent, grasp what I'm saying. And I've really just been frustrated because I feel like every time when you go through like situations, you are, how can I say, attracting a certain energy. And before I go to people, I always ask, what about me is attracting you to come
You,
on me with this energy? Do you know what I mean? I'm very self-aware, and I love that about myself, because before I want to go and just point fingers at everyone else, I always sit and evaluate, look at myself, be like, what could you have possibly done to cause this? And if I've ticked all my boxes and I'm like, okay, moving on. Now it's like, listen, what are we doing? What do you want from me? And it's like, you still can't, I don't know, you're just not as serious as I am. I'm not wasting my time. I wrote my time for that. And there we go. That's it. I don't want to say too much.
I am literally now. I'm like, this EP must drop so that I can
You
like
curious,
go
eh?
on this
Yeah.
journey with you. Because the way you're explaining the realness of just like your music, I think we definitely. And as I said, I heard clarity, and I was like, wow, you are taking me through it, right? And I think that in itself is what we always wish and hope for from artists, that they
Yeah.
share those sides and those elements of themselves so that we can also get to
Yeah.
relate, get to share, and get to, get to just be part of those emotions alongside with them, because we all get to feel them. And I think that's, as you said, the responsibility of art, is to mirror society, but also allow society to go through those emotions and live and then heal from those emotions, which is why I like that it ends
Exactly.
off on a very good, I'm moving on, but let's go, kind of energy at the end. So
Yes.
that in
Yeah.
itself is absolutely great. Now, I know that you're also a dancer, which I mean, is those are two different talents, but when they come together, it becomes so beautiful.
Yeah.
For you, is there one that is kind of more important than the other, or you kind of see them as complementary to each other to help you share out and bring out your art?
So, me as an artist, I've just recently discovered that I'm meant to be a performer. So, I always thought that I would just stand on stage, sing music. I think that for the longest time, I was like, maybe one day I'm gonna, I don't know, maybe do like a dance routine and whatever. But I've actually realized that I would like to channel into that space of becoming a performer and not like just a singer. So, yes, I need both, and no one is above the other. They are all just so expressive in their own right. I've just constantly, each time I fall in love with it, because I'm now dancing from being a dancer to dancing on other people's music. I'm now a dancer dancing to my own music. And like when there are these like beats and elements that are hidden in music, I get to showcase that through dance. Because sometimes music you will listen, but you don't hear those fine. I listen to all those things you don't hear. Like that is the things that I actually go and look for, pick up on. Like I put on my headset and listen over and over, hear those whispers, the sound effects, like the harmonies, the ad libs. Like I really fall in love with that. And then I kind of like do these dance moves that brings out that more, so that you notice these elements in sound and the cadences. And oh man, it's a never ending love story for me. It's like I've just discovered it all. So yes, definitely. Even I can consider myself a triple threat. I also used to do like acting, and I really hope that one day when I'm like older, I'm playing a movie. I really hope so. So yeah, for now I'm just like focusing on the performing part, and each time I'm just getting better. So it's me versus me. I need them both equally, and they just make me who I am as an entertainer, a creative, a performer. So yeah,
Yeah,
which was
that's
funny
so
though. Like I
lovely.
actually, yeah, it's so funny though. Like 3 years ago, I was like, I'm meant to be a dancer. Like all of a sudden, I was like, let's go to the dance studio, and I went to the dance studio, and I was like, I'm meant to dance only. And then 2022 came, had my little inspirational moment, and I was like, I'm meant to sing. And then I became a singer, and then I was like, bye dance. And I was like, wait, why bye dance? Like, come back here. Like I have a vision, I have a dream, and I need you all. And so I've just approached in that way, treating everything that way. So yeah, that's just what it comes back to. And I also, like, before even doing the actual singing, I always thought that I was gonna play the violin. I was gonna do violin lessons in 2023. Like I gathered this, how can I say, my funds, my thoughts, and I was like, I just need to go get like a violin instructor. And then I was like searching, and I was like, where are the violin teachers out here? Like, there's nothing here. Like, and then again, it's like this equipment is so expensive. Oh, you needed to start when you were like 5 years old. And I was like, okay, okay, you know what? Let me go sing. I'm just gonna go sing. Bye. I'm gonna go sing. And I was like, let's start somewhere. Let's start somewhere. So yes, on my list is I really want to act, and I really want to play the violin when I'm 40 years old, 40 and up. That's what I want to
Well,
do at that age.
you've put it out, so we're hoping and believing alongside with you that it's definitely going to happen, right? I like to tell my guests that if you've put it out and you've said it on the show, we'll just be anticipating for you to come back and be like, Vuyo, I want to talk about my brand new film. Can we schedule an interview on the Vuyo show?
Exactly. And you have proof. You have a whole recording.
And we have a whole entire episode where you were talking about it. So that's absolutely incredible. I mean, I am so excited for your journey. I think it's gonna just come into fruition in a beautiful way, and we're
Thank you so
excited for
much.
you here on the show. And I know that my audience now is gonna be like, oh my god, let me go find her music. So share with us how we can find your upcoming song. It's releasing today, well tonight, midnight.
Yes. Right, yes.
And this episode is coming out on Friday, so when people are getting to watch this, it will be out.
Yes.
So where can they find it? And how do they get to follow you and engage with you and follow your journey? Because it's about to be a very good one.
Oh, thank you. So, for anyone that loves me so far, for my personality, my music, my sound, and what I stand for, you can find me literally on all digital platforms at Chante Carstens. And yeah, my music is out on all digital platforms as well, like Instagram. Ah, sorry, no, what? Sorry. That was no kijk, dat was een
Instagram
rat.
as well.
No, you can follow me on
On
Instagram and everywhere
Instagram.
else on at Chante Carstens. And my music is out
Yeah.
on all digital platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you name it.
Yes, it's just basically find her on Chante Carstens. Wherever you find the music and wherever you have social media, she's there for you to go about and support. What last words? What would you like to leave our audiences with as we wrap it up? What encouragement are you gonna? What's coming up next? Just anything that we can, be just kind of go home with as we are wrapping up. What would those words be?
Yes, I feel like if I could, speak to myself back in a space now, I'm much better. I really want to say be kind to yourself. I want to say, like, when you are starting something new and you don't get it at the jump, please be patient with yourself because what you're starting now is maybe unfamiliar. But growth is so uncomfortable at the beginning, and you don't always need to like measure discomfort with like not being equipped to do a certain thing. So I just want you to know that you can fail and you can sit in that and you can get up and fail and get up and fail and just try again. And one day is one day, and you will just like prove to yourself, don't stand in your own way. You are meant to do anything. Your destiny's out there calling you. Don't hold it back. And yeah, just believe in yourself because there's so many people out in this world that does not even know you yet that believes in
Did I do it right?
you. Yes.
That's hot. Well, ladies and gents, May 31st, her single is coming out. It's called Give Me That Single One More Time. It's the one coming out today.
Slide. Yes, yes,
Slide.
yes.
So
So in
Slide is coming out
4 hours.
today
Yeah. So
in
by
a couple of
Friday you'll have
hours,
it.
and the Friday will be up, and then June 14th is when her EP is coming out. So you definitely
Correct.
want to be on the lookout for this incredible artist from all the way in South Africa. It is the one and only Chante Carstens. Chante,
Thank,
thank you so much for joining me on the show. And
thank you for your
hopefully, I'm gonna be jamming to it, and I'm gonna be like, "Let's go!"
as you
Thank you
should.
at home. Thank
Thanks
you at
so
home for
much,
tuning in.
girl.
Oh
Oh,
man, this is the Vuyo Show. Of course, we are coming to you from New York City. Don't forget to follow us on social media at the Vuyo Show across all social media platforms. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you do have a Roku or an Apple TV, then go for it. Search this interview and all the others that we've done on the Vuyo Show on the Enterprise Theatre. This, of course, is your favorite global darling, myself, Vuyo Tamoda, with Chante Carstens. From me and her, with so much love, it's goodbye and have a good one. Mwah! Cheers for now.
bye.
Yay!